Welcome to Silent Secrets.
In today's video, we're going to talk about something that almost every person has experienced, but very few truly understand. Why so many relationships fail, and what it really takes to make them last. You've probably heard people say, relationships are complicated, but have you ever stopped to ask why? Because truthfully, relationships aren't complicated by nature. We make them complicated through unrealistic expectations, emotional confusion, and a complete lack of real education about what love actually is. The illusion we all grew up with from the time we were kids. We were taught to believe in fairy tales. Movies showed us fireworks, grand gestures, and happily ever afters. We saw people fall in love within minutes, fight once, and somehow end up together forever. And when you grow up watching that, it programs your mind to think that love should feel effortless, that once you meet the right person, everything magically aligns. But real life doesn't work that way. Most people enter relationships completely unprepared. Not because they're bad people, but because they've been misled. We learned about love from stories, songs, and parents who were often figuring it out themselves. No one sat us down and said, here's how to communicate clearly. Here's how to handle conflict. Here's what respect actually means in practice. So what happens? You meet someone, the chemistry is electric, your heart races, and it feels right. But once that initial spark fades, you're left with two people who barely know how to deal with reality together. And then, people start to think, maybe love just isn't for me. But no, love isn't broken. Our understanding of it is. 2. The roommate analogy that changes everything. Let's start simple. Think about what it's like to live with a roommate. You share a space. You share responsibilities. Sometimes you get along great. Other times you're irritated by the smallest things, like them leaving dishes in the sink or hogging the bathroom. Now, imagine that same scenario, except this time, you're in love with your roommate. You share emotions, affection, and intimacy, but in every practical way, it's still the same. You still need to communicate about chores, boundaries, schedules, finances, and personal space. You still have to respect differences and work as a team. The difference is, love adds an emotional layer. And that's where things usually start to break down. Because most people believe that love should automatically solve problems. It doesn't. It just makes those problems more emotional. A healthy relationship, like a good roommate situation, depends on understanding, compromise, and shared effort. If one person always gives more than they receive, resentment builds. If nobody talks about what they need, confusion takes over. The most destructive relationship myth ever. Here's a belief that ruins more relationships than cheating, distance, or even incompatibility. If they really loved me, they'd just know what I need. That sounds romantic, right? But it's completely unrealistic. Love is not mind reading. Love is communication. Expecting someone to automatically know what's bothering you is like expecting your roommate to know you're out of milk without ever telling them. Your partner isn't psychic. You aren't either. People can only meet your needs if you express them. Clearly, that's what real intimacy looks like. Not someone magically just knowing, but someone caring enough to listen when you tell them. Real love says, I can't read your mind, but I want to understand you. Tell me what you need. That's how healthy couples function. Not through emotional guessing games, but through consistent, honest communication. Why couples fight, and what they're actually arguing about. Ever notice how small things cause the biggest fights? He never listens. She's always on her phone. You don't care about me anymore. But if you dig deeper, most of these fights aren't about the specific issue. They're about feeling unseen, unheard, or unimportant. The argument isn't really about the dishes, it's about one person feeling like their effort goes unnoticed. It's not about spending time with friends. It's about feeling replaced or neglected. When people fight, they're often expressing deeper emotional needs in clumsy ways. And when those needs aren't understood, resentment grows. The truth is, emotional maturity means being able to say, I feel hurt when you do this, instead of, you always do this. It means describing your feelings. instead of attacking someone's character. Most relationship conflicts are two people fighting for the same thing, connection, but using opposite methods to get it. One withdraws. The other chases, one shouts, the other shuts down. And the cycle repeats until someone learns to break it with empathy. The 3 foundations. Every relationship needs, just like a plant needs sunlight, soil, and water. Every relationship needs 3 vital elements to grow and survive. Clear communication. Nabai. What you mean? Don't expect your partner to decode your silence. I'm fine. When you're clearly not fine, that's emotional poison. It confuses your partner, and it builds invisible walls between you. Healthy communication sounds like, I feel ignored when you're on your phone during dinner. I need more quality time with you. I'm stressed about money. Can we talk about our budget? It's direct, respectful, and solution-oriented. Realistic expectations. Your partner can't fix all your problems. They're not your therapist, entertainer, or mind reader. They're human, just like you. They'll have flaws, insecurities, and bad days. If you expect perfection, you'll always be disappointed. If you expect effort and honesty, you'll often be pleasantly surprised. 2 complete people, not 2 halves. One of the most damaging beliefs is the idea that your partner completes you. You're not a half looking for another half. You're a whole person looking to share your life with another whole person. 2 incomplete people create codependency, not connection, and codependency feels romantic at first, but it eventually suffocates both people. Healthy love is when both partners have their own goals, hobbies, and sense of identity, and still choose to come together every day. The truth about the one. There's no single perfect person meant just for you. There are probably thousands of people you could build a great relationship with, if both of you are willing to grow together. Believing in the one creates 2 major problems. People stay in toxic relationships because they think, but what if this person is my destiny? People leave healthy relationships because they think, it doesn't feel magical anymore. Maybe they're not the one. But here's the truth. Great relationships aren't found. They're built. They're built through shared experiences, honesty, forgiveness, and consistent effort. Like constructing a house, brick by brick. Only this house is made of trust, empathy, and time. Compatibility isn't what you think most people think. Compatibility means liking the same movies, food, or hobbies. That's not real compatibility. Real compatibility means your problems are compatible. Every person comes with flaws, habits, and emotional baggage. The question isn't, is this person perfect? It's, can I live peacefully with their imperfections? One person's problem might be that they're bad at texting back. Another's might be that they need a lot of personal space. Some of those things are easy to adapt to. Others are not. But here's the key. Incompatible problems aren't about small habits. They're about deep patterns that make you unhappy. Lack of respect, dishonesty, or emotional unavailability. You can learn to live with a partner who forgets laundry. You can't build peace with someone who manipulates you emotionally. The confusion between love and drama. A lot of people confuse emotional chaos with passion. If there aren't ups and downs, if there isn't jealousy or intense makeups after fights, they think it's not love. But healthy love isn't supposed to feel like a roller coaster. It's supposed to feel like safety. It's calm, supportive, steady. It doesn't demand you lose yourself to prove your devotion. The truth is, peace feels boring when you're used to emotional chaos. If you've grown up around unstable love, constant fighting, shouting, dramatic breakups, then peace feels foreign. You start to mistake it for lack of passion. But real love, mature love, is peaceful consistency. It's 2 people choosing each other, quietly, steadily, without needing explosions to feel alive. The hidden skills nobody teaches. Us think about it. You spend years in school learning math, history, and grammar, but nobody teaches you the skills that actually determine the quality of your relationships. Skills like conflict resolution, how to argue without destroying trust, emotional regulation, how to manage your feelings instead of dumping them on your partner, boundaries, how to say no without guilt, and respect no without resentment, compromise, how to find a middle ground that works for both, self-awareness, understanding your patterns, triggers, and emotional needs. We expect people to be good at relationships naturally, but that's like expecting someone to be a good driver without ever taking lessons. Relationships don't fail because of lack of love. They fail because of lack of skill. And these are learnable skills. The more you practice them, the more peaceful your relationships become. 10. The trap of trying to fix people. This is hard to accept, but it's essential. You cannot love someone into becoming the person you wish they were. People change only when they want to. If you're constantly saying, they'd be perfect if they just stopped doing this one thing, you're not in love with them. You're in love with their potential. Love doesn't mean saving someone from themselves. It means supporting them, but also knowing when their choices are harming you. Your job in a relationship isn't to fix, heal, or rescue someone. It's to decide if who they are right now aligns with what you need, and if it doesn't, walking away isn't failure. It's self-respect. What healthy relationships actually look like. Healthy relationships aren't perfect. They're not free of disagreements, and they're not full of constant excitement. They look like this. Two people who can talk through problems without yelling, who respect each other's time, privacy and dreams, who apologize when they're wrong and mean it, who show up consistently, even on bad days, who make each other's lives better, not heavier. It's not about perfection. It's about safety, effort, and mutual respect. Knowing when to let go, not. Every relationship is meant to last forever, and that's okay. Sometimes two good people simply don't fit. Maybe your goals are different. Maybe the timing is off. Maybe you love each other, but you want completely different lives. Leaving doesn't mean you failed. It means you're brave enough to accept reality instead of forcing a fantasy. The healthiest decision you can make sometimes is to end something peacefully, with gratitude for what it taught you. Setting new relationship standards. Here's what emotional maturity looks like in love. Stop looking for someone to complete you. Look for someone who complements you. Stop expecting perfection. Expect effort, honesty, and respect. Stop trying to change people. Start accepting who they are, or choose to walk away. Stop waiting for someone else to make you happy. Learn to be happy on your own, then share that happiness with someone else. The most attractive thing in a person isn't looks or money. It's emotional stability. It's knowing who you are and what you want. It's being peaceful. Not needy, confident, not controlling. When two people like that come together, they build something real, something that lasts. 14. The real reason relationships fail. Most relationships fail not because love disappears, but because people stop doing the things that built the love in the first place. They stop communicating. They stop being curious about each other. They stop showing appreciation. They start assuming instead of asking. They start criticizing instead of understanding. And slowly, emotional distance grows where connection used to be. Relationships die not from big betrayals, but from 1,000 small acts of neglect. But the good news is, you can rebuild connection the same way it was lost, one small act of understanding at a time. The final truth about love isn't a magical feeling that appears out of nowhere. It's a daily choice. To listen, to grow, to forgive, and to stay kind even when things get hard. The most powerful relationships are not built on grand gestures. They're built on consistency, on showing up, on effort, empathy, and truth. So stop chasing fairy tales. Start building something real, because real love isn't perfect. It's two imperfect people deciding, every single day, to figure it out together, and that is more beautiful than any fairy tale ever told. If this helped you see relationships more clearly, subscribe to Silent Secrets. Leave a comment sharing which relationship, myth you believed for too long, your honesty, might help someone else finally understand what real love looks like. Remember, the best relationships aren't effortless. They're honest, respectful, and built, one patient, loving moment at a time.